My video is about a rather simple idea with a rather complex name, and that's Transcendentalism, which is in short the idea that people have knowledge about themselves and the world around them that transcends what they can see, hear, taste, touch, or feel, all of which can be put into three essential values: individualism, idealism, and the divinity of nature. And these values can be attained not as religious beliefs, but rather as a way of understanding life and its various complexities. The origin of Transcendentalism is closely related to Unitarianism, which was the dominant religious movement in Boston in the early 19th century in America. Transcendentalism was not a rejection of Unitarianism, rather it was created in order to satisfy this longing for a more intense spiritual experience in America during this time. Instead of relying on a god, they stressed these ideas of personal freedom and the immense power of the individual. And while Unitarians stressed a rather calm and rational relationship with God, Transcendentalists sought a more personal and intense spiritual experience. Although it is indeed a philosophy rather than a religion, it is deeply rooted in faith and spirituality, however. They believed in the possibility of personal communication with God, leading to an ultimate understanding of reality. Leaders of this movement were influenced by the elements of mysticism found in Hindu, Buddhist, and Islamic religions, as well as the American Puritan and Quaker faiths. The Transcendentalist movement was centered in New England and included a number of prominent individuals, one of the most interesting being Henry David Thoreau, who tried to put Transcendentalism into practice. Thoreau was described as a lot of things: strange, gentle, fanatic, selfish, a dreamer, slightly autistic, a stubborn individualist. And for 2 years, Thoreau carried out the most famous experiment in self-reliance when he went to Walden Pond, built a cabin, and tried to live sufficiently without the trappings or interference of society. And he wrote. He wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote, and he wrote enough eventually that he just put it all in a book called Walden. And in this book, he wrote about many things, but the core of it all was the art of simplicity and truth and the world around us. In one of the first chapters, Where I Lived and What I Lived For, he says that the clouds rain tears and the woods shed their leaves and put on mourning in midsummer, if any man should ever for just cause. Shall I not have the intelligence with the earth? Am I not partly leaves and vegetable mold myself? And why should we be in such a desperate haste to succeed and in such desperate enterprises? If a man does not keep pace with his companions, perhaps it is because he hears a different drum. Possibly most famously, he claims that the fault finder finds faults even in paradise. One of my favorite Thoreau essays is called Walking, and it's literally a 50-page paper on walking. Why he believes that by walking every day we confront our truest selves, and that by walking a different path every day you almost subconsciously prove to your mind that you're capable of following through with your dream pathway of life. That each step you take takes you closer to your quote-unquote American dream, whatever that means to you, and that the only thing pushing you against the current is your own pace. Despite the fact that Transcendentalism lasted only 10 years, it greatly influenced the society of America and the evolution of other literary movements. It was believed that Transcendentalism directly influenced the New Thought movement, which promoted similar ideas such as intelligence within our own minds and the existence of spirits. As well as that, Transcendentalism overall just affected people's approach to philosophy, politics, and religion. Although they constructed a manifesto with rules that one would need to follow in order to become one, they clearly stressed ideas like challenging authorities higher than you just for moral reasons and believing in your intuition rather than the government. These ideas were certainly passed down and greatly influenced different religious groups and social leaders such as Martin Luther King and Gandhi. Overall, it just encouraged Americans at this time of desperate chaos in the country to just breathe, take a walk, live in the moment, and support the people you love. I guess the main idea is that Transcendentalism is really just about identifying what makes you happy and then adjusting your life to make that thing the priority. whether it's this or this or this, just find it and feel grateful for it and grateful for the world around you.